Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have decided that I'm going to have a go at this whole grab 5 thing. So I've selected 5 items from my stash that I would like to try and use. Some of these are things that I've had for so long and I haven't used that perhaps doing this challenge will make me actually use them. So obviously I've seen loads of people doing these scrap challenges. I've seen it on Inkie Quill and on the Crafty Ways and yeah, on quite a few different channels. So I thought I would have a go and see how hard it is. I'm kind of excited about it. So the first thing that I wanted to include in my grab 5 is this tub here, which is just a random ephemera. There's like literally none of this is a kit. This is all just leftovers from random packs of die cuts that I've had in the past, and things that people have sent me in the post, homemade embellishments, and basically I occasionally search through here, but most of the time it stays untouched, and I would quite like to start using some of this up. So I figured if I tried to use it in Scrab 5 that might help. So that's item number 1. Item number 2, down a kind of similar vein, are these wooden frames. I've had these for years, like literally 3 or 4 years, I think. Since I really first started scrapbooking, I have loads of them. And I don't think I've used a single one. So yeah, I've even got like 2 packs of different ones. I don't know why I ever bought a second pack, but yeah, sometimes things don't make sense. So I wanted to use those wooden frames. Then I have this, which is a new set, which actually I just know will go really well with the pictures that I've got. But this is the Mambi Chips stickers, and this is the friendship one. I'm going to be scrapping 3 pictures of me and my boyfriend, and there are a lot of phrases in there that I thought would be really cool. I'm not sure how this is all going to work together, to be honest, but we'll see. Then the next one, as I have mentioned before, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just mostly counting this for myself, are enamel dots. I've picked out 2 packs of enamel dots that I think kind of go with the colours I can vaguely see. I've got so many enamel dots, I might use different ones when it comes to it, but enamel dots was one of the things that I wanted to use. And then the last thing that I wanted to use was my ink dobber. I've got some really, what I think are good ideas for this, and I keep meaning to do it and then I forget about it. I've got some cool stencils and some potentially groovier ideas for this. So I thought I'm going to bring these back into action. So we're going to get the stamp daubers on, we're going to get the enamel dots out, we're going to do something magical with the frames. I really don't know what I'm going to do with the frames. And then we've got some selections of, or a selection of ephemera and a selection of phrases. So, oh my gosh, I'm so scared about this. I'm going to do it as 12 by 12 today, and then I'm probably going to have another go at this, depending on how this goes, with a project life process. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy or find this mildly useful. If you've done grab 5 or tried it at home, then if you've got videos, link them down below. I love watching videos. And if you've not got videos but you've done it at home, let me know how you got on. And yes, I'll be back in a second. Woo! Welcome back. So here I am starting the grab 5. I've got these silly pictures of us from a night out where we were taking selfies like you do, it seems nowadays. And I've printed them so that they are, well, it was on 4x6 paper, so I can do basic maths. Yeah, so they're 2x3. Yes, 2 along the top and 3 down the sides, and they kind of fit in these frames. Our faces are a little bit squidged off the edges, but I didn't think it mattered too much. I did them in black and white because I probably will add these pictures to my project life sort of pocket page spread as well, because there were quite a few more than this, and I've got a plan for how I could incorporate them. I think I might do them 2x2 and do some fuse pockets, Anyway, side note, but do them in colour. So I thought I'd add them to these frames. I'm using a glue pen, the name of which I can't remember. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I wrote everything down. I got a traveller's notebook, and where is it? And I decided to write down all the products that I used so that I would be able to show off in the video, in the voiceover. But I didn't write down the name of that pen. So, but it's a fine line glue pen, and it's really, really sticky. They're so good. If you can get hold of one, my one came from the range here in the UK. But if you can get hold of something similar, they're really, really good. So yeah, I love it. So here I've decided, in order to use the blending tool, which was one of my 5, I have got some Tim Holtz Distress ink, and this one is called Spiced Marmalade. I've kind of made a mark as to where the frame will go, because I find when I first kind of daub the thing down, dib, dab, daub, I don't know what the word is to describe it, when I first dab it down, I end up with quite a big round mark, and then I can smooth from there. So I probably need to work on it to get rid of that. And then at the top here I'm using a Tim Holtz, it's a Tim Holtz collection stencil, and it's called Tracks. And I've added to the top of the picked marmalade, I added some of the yellow, which is called Mustard Seed. Here I'm adding some more Tim Holtz Distress ink, and this one is called Peacock Feathers. So daubing away. I find the kind of first splodge is really colour filled, and because I literally just dab it onto the pad, I end up with kind of a square mark on my dauber. If I was doing this more carefully, I would have swirled it around a little bit in the ink. But it's really easy to do, and I absolutely love the effect, and I do this quite often if I'm making cards for people, because I think it looks beautiful, and you can get some amazing rainbows in the stencils. Oh, they look so good. So I just added some green ink on the top of that peacock feather, and that green ink is just from Paper Mania, and it was an ink set of mini inks, so I'm just calling it green, it doesn't have a name. And here I'm using a violet one from Paper Mania, because I wanted to start with the darker colours and then move up to slightly lighter ones. So I start with this violet, which is really beautiful when it's blended. And there we go. I think I'm going to add a bit more to try and darken it up. And then just pushing it through the stencil. These stencils are so good, and they look amazing. If you haven't tried blending and you haven't tried using stencils, or you've done blending but not used stencils, then really give it a go. They look so good. And there's some is it picked raspberry? Yes, I think it's picked raspberry that I put on over the top. Then here I just used a frame that I'm not using for this project to test out whether or not I could add some ink to the edges. So here I'm just adding a bit of peacock feather, and then I'm going to add some some marmalade. What's it called? Spiced marmalade, and then some picked raspberry. I'm getting it all muddled in my head. This writing it down thing's really working out, isn't it? I tried moving it around a little bit to see if it looked better, but I did prefer it kind of with the colours alternating like that. Here I'm just using some double-sided tape just to stick this down. I did buy the ATG gun, but I just hate it. So I've gone back to my double-sided sticky tape for now until I've managed to crack that. And then I'm just sticking them down. This bit's a bit boring, isn't it? Yeah, I did end up with a few bits of ink along the bottom where I had it on my fingers and things like that, but I haven't worried about it really. Here I realised I could see a couple of pencil marks and tried to remove them, but it didn't work. So here I've got 2 of my items down. This is the mixed ephemera box that I have, so it's just full of out-of-date products that are left over from sets. So I barely ever look through it, which is a real shame because there's actually some really cool stuff in there, and looking through it did remind me of that. So there's quite a mixture. There's some cut branding strips in there which isn't where they're supposed to be, so but I did try to use them anyway. So here I decided, I've been watching loads of Missy Widden, and I decided that I would do some of this tone on tone malarkey that she does. So I thought, as I was going through it, I was like, hold on, all this stuff is really random and it doesn't necessarily go together, but I've got colours running through here, so I could kind of take that approach. So I kind of try that. It's not as good as hers, to be fair, but I'm still learning. So here I just added a flag to the end of that branding strip. And then I'm kind of messing around thinking about where I'm going to place things, what I'm going to include or not include. This changes a lot because I find loads of phrases in these Mambi chips. So they had some amazing phrases that really worked well for the sort of focus of this layout. So I loved that laugh, so I put that in there. And then partner in crime, I thought that was funny. I love that inside joke one, because obviously when you're in a pairing of any kind, a friendship kind or a romance kind, you end up with a selection of kind of inside jokes that no one else seems to understand, which is good. It's kind of the fun of it. So I'm just adding some double-sided tape to this and just kind of sticking it down. I do change my mind a lot. I move things in and out. I literally didn't cut anything out of this video at all, so you can see everything. And it wasn't a very long process because I just found it so easy to do with the kind of restriction of the 5 things. So it meant I couldn't, look, I'm trying that ATG thing again. Oh, it makes me so angry. And I couldn't get what are the words I'm trying to say? Yeah, I didn't get bogged down in choosing things because I didn't have any choice. The glittery neon enamel dots that I added on the pink one, they're from the range. I believe they're Paper Mania ones. And then I've added some other enamel dots that I got in a Studio Calico kit, which appear to be from, bear with because I wrote it down, Twine and Ink. Don't know, that's what it says. So here I'm just using some thickers. These thickers came in a Like Forever kit, and I found some enamel flowers, beautiful. Sam, get back to it. I was looking for an ampersand. Oh, I found it. And I'm just peeling that off. Yes, sorry, these thickers came in a Like Forever kit. It was the December kit that they came in. So I just spelled out you and me, and then I wanted to use this together. And I just kind of made it so it followed that diagonal kind of pattern. I thought about whether to add these flowers because they actually add a lot of bulk in my album, but seeing as it's the early days of January, I'm going to go mental, and then I'll just have to thin it down for the rest of it. So there I am, just pointing out the 5 things. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more. Thanks for listening.